guys, so let's get into this video. I'm not gonna hold you or keep you. I just want to get into this video to help you. So one thing I love about being a teacher is the fact that you get to start all over. You get a fresh new brand new start. And even though I always end up missing my kiddos from the previous year like crazy, it's always nice to get a fresh start with different ideas and different things that you can try. So this year I'm going to try something different. I came up with a different vibe for my classroom when it comes to dealing with kindness and being unkind. So something that I'm going to start using is called Joy Drops. So I came up with this idea and I thought, you know what, this is what I'm going to start using with my kiddos. Just something different, something new and fresh. And I'm going to introduce Joy Drops and Dreary Drops. Now, Joy Drops are drops of kindness, drops of happiness, you know, that feel good, wholesome type of vibe. And then Dreary Drops are drops that are not very kind, they're unkind, they're sad, they're just not nice, they're mean. So I'm going to talk to you guys about how I'm going to introduce that to my kiddos this school year and the vibe. I'm so excited for it because as I was creating it, you know, when you start coming up with things and you create something and you get excited about it, that's how I was feeling about this. So let's talk about it. So this is what I'm going to start with first with my kiddos. So I'm going to start off first with an anchor chart. I don't have one here, but chart paper. And I'm going to put on one side Joy Drops. Okay. So it's a cloud. And then Dreary Drops. Okay. There's dreary days, or, you know, a lot of times thunderstorms can happen during that, lightning and all that. And so the drops, of course, are raindrops. And I chose raindrops because I'm a person who absolutely loves the rain. Rain is my jam. I love rain. I don't care what time of the year it is, what time of day. I am a rain girl. So if it's raining wherever you are, think about Miss Met. So anyway, the raindrops are going to have different sayings on them. So this one is talking back, making fun of someone, small lies and big lies, kicking someone when mad, sharing crayons, someone gives you a compliment, helping others, following directions. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about it and we're going to sort and we're going to put and decide whether or not, you know, this drop is a joy drop or is it a dreary drop. And so we'll go back and forth with that. They'll come in white like this, but you can print on blue paper so that you get the blue drop. It's up to you though. It doesn't matter. And basically we're just going to talk about what a joy drop is and how we give joy drops and how joy drops are so important. And then we'll discuss dreary drops and, you know, what that means and just kind of get that, you know, that flow in the classroom going. Because if you've been following me for a long time, you know my vibe is classroom management and creating a very cozy, happy, kind classroom environment. And I'm very proud of that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very proud of what I produce every single year in my classrooms. And I work hard to do that. And anybody can have a classroom like that, full of kindness and love. And granted, there are moments where, you know, things aren't always happy-go-lucky, but we learn how to communicate with one another and how to be respectful to one another when we feel those feels. So anyway, I'm going to talk to my kids. We're going to have this on a chart. We're going to compare, is this a dreary drop or a joy drop? And basically what we'll do, so, you know, making fun of someone, you know, we'll talk about how that's a dreary drop. So that's going to go underneath the dreary cloud and so on. And then it'll be on an anchor chart, and then I'll hang that up for, you know, pretty much a lot of the school year, so that I can always refer back to that chart, or just so that the kids can see it and think, oh, okay, I remember when we talked about that, at the beginning of the school year. So that's how I'm going to introduce it. And then something that I like to do is I like for my kids to write notes to each other and give each other compliments. And everybody in our classroom has their own little bucket, and I put their name on it, and they just drop those positive, kind notes inside their bucket. So this year, I'm going to call them Joy Drops. And they look like this. And they come on a sheet like this. The closing here says love, but I also have the closing that says hugs, and then one that's just blank, and the kids can write whatever they want to write. But there are 4 on a sheet, and basically when they write, it looks like this. Okay, so this is my Joy Drop, and this is to my sweet dog, Storm. And it says, Storm, I just want you to know that you are the most sweetest dog. I love being your mommy so much. You give the best love to me. I love you. Hugs, mommy. And so that's his Joy Drop from me. And I just drop it in. Well, I mean, if students, they'll just drop it wherever. If you don't have buckets, maybe you have some type of a sleeve system, or just they can just set it on that person's desk and, drop some joy to someone. So this is called a Joy Drops. Okay. So these are our Joy Drops that I'm going to be using this school year. And I'm so excited for them because it's just something new, something fresh that's added to the classroom. So Joy Drops. Okay, so then that's when I'll introduce these. And then there's a craft activity that you can do with your kiddos. And basically everybody gets a My Joy Drops. And then each kid gets a mini cloud, and then they get their own drops, 5 of them. And then they write inside things that bring them joy, things that make them feel joyful inside. Again, these come in white so that you can print them and the kids can color their drops if they want, or if you want to print them on blue paper, which I'm going to do, you can do that too. And then the kids go at it, glue it on there, and then they can share with the class, they can share with a buddy, however you want to do it. But I think it's important too that kiddos do share their work and take ownership for what they've done. And then I'll hang these up. This will be one of my back to school crafts that I will do. Now, let's just say, I know I've had teacher buddies who too much crafting they don't like, or they don't really like a lot of crafts with kids, even though this one isn't very there's not a lot to it. But some people don't, or you're just not in the mood for it at the time. Then there's just a sheet, My Joy Drops, and they just write their drops, their joys inside each drop, put their name at the bottom, and they have that. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, because I'm always trying to find ways to create that positive environment, that caring environment inside the classroom, because it is so important for your classroom management to be on point. It's so important for your kindness, the kiddos having kindness and respect for one another in the classroom, in order for you to be able to teach your lessons and to do your thing. Those 2 things are so crucial and so important. So just another way to introduce, especially at the beginning of the year. This is also something like, I'm gonna do the craft at the beginning of the year. I'll do this mid-year and in-year, just to see if there's something else, something different that the kiddos have written. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. More videos to come for you, because back to school is near. I have less than a month. I report back on August the 4th. I feel like I just packed up my classroom. But I'm so excited, you guys, because I have a closed classroom this year, and I can't even tell you, but more about that later. Those of you know that I have taught in an open concept situation. I've been teaching, I'm going into year 22. This is year 22 I'm going into. And my first 10 years at my first school, it was closed. And then these last 11 years, at my school now, current school, I've been in an open concept. Now, I did teach in the trailers, but I still had somebody next to me and it was still a little bit open. Now, that was better. It was better. But this is truly closed and I am so excited. So anyway, that's that. Get your Joy Drops activities, get them going, get them ready for the school year coming up. And like I said, that is going to be our new thing this school year. Did you drop some joy? That's what I want to know. Did you drop some joy? Let's get those joy drops going. I need a joy drop. You need a joy drop. We got a joy drop. All right, guys. As always, don't forget to always pray because God will always make a way. Love you. Mwah.